What is up, you guys? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever time zone you're in. Welcome back to another video. I'm literally in the process of getting ready, starting by washing my face for a work day. Point of this video is just talking to you guys about common mistakes that I've seen my clients make in the beginning of their fitness journey, as well as mistakes that I've made myself when I first started working out like 8 years ago. First thing that I feel like everybody needs to understand when it comes to their weight loss journey is caloric deficit does not, first of all, I'm washing my face with Cetaphil. Caloric deficit does not mean skipping meals. Like, when you have to be in a caloric deficit, all that means is that your body is burning more calories than you're actually consuming. But a common mistake that I see a lot of my clients make in the beginning, and I notice a lot of people probably experience the same thing too, is they're in such a serious caloric deficit, like probably 1,000 calories under their maintenance level. And what ends up happening is, one, you plateau. So you might have started to lose weight, and then after a while you just stop losing weight and you're just like, what's going on? I don't understand. Like, I'm in a caloric deficit. Or another thing that I've seen happen is you're losing weight, but your muscle mass is significantly lower and your body fat is either the same or it's gone up. But you're like, what the hell? This makes no sense. I'm losing weight. Like, why is my body fat still high? Let me explain to you why. When it comes to being in a caloric deficit, you literally want to be about like 500 calories below your maintenance level. Now, if you don't know what your maintenance level is, you literally could just go on Google and type in macro calculator, TDEE calculator, and it's going to ask you to punch in a bunch of numbers, and then it's going to give you calculations on what your maintenance level is, how much calories you need to burn in order for you to be consuming, in order for you to lose weight, and how much calories you need to be consuming if you want to gain muscle mass, put on muscle, put on healthy weight. And a lot of the times what I've noticed is that people just tend to think 1,500 calories is this magic number that everyone needs to be having in order for them to lose weight. And it's just like, girl, no. Maybe that works for someone else, but not necessarily for you. You want to make sure that you're, as I said, about 500 calories. So your maintenance level, if it's 2,500, then you want to be at 2,000, and you're going to lose weight about a pound or two a week, which is healthy and sustainable, by the way. We're going to into that a little bit later. But you don't want to be something so crazy as 1,500. Some people I even see go down to like 1,200, 1,300. And the problem with that is, let me go actually get my toners and stuff. These two products, don't mind the broken fingernails, the niacinamide toner and then the discoloration serum from Good Molecules. I have a serious chokehold on these products. I love these to the core of me because they work so well. Like, if you're a girl and you live in Canada, go on their site. It's not expensive at all. It's super affordable. And if you're an American, I know they sell them in like Ulta or something. You need to go get them. They're so good. But anyways, as I was saying, the reason why you don't want to be in such a significant caloric deficit is because you're slowing down your metabolism. And this is why a lot of the times people who have such a low calorie intake are not able to lose weight, because your body is literally holding on to whatever calories you're consuming because you're not consuming enough for it to be able to burn the calories that you're consuming entirely. Does that make sense? I actually saw this analogy on Mind Pump, their podcast. Super good podcast. And I was like, I'm gonna steal that. So I'm gonna tell you guys, think of it as your money. So let's say, right, you have a job paying you $10K a month, a lot of money after taxes. And you are gonna be like, okay, I don't need to really budget and be so tight on my money. I can go shopping, I can go out to eat, I can go on vacation, I can buy myself some luxury things. You know, like, you're not really trying to hold on to your money too much. But let's say now you lost your job. You're gonna hold on to every penny and every dollar you have because you don't know when your next paycheck is coming in. That is the exact same thing that happens with your body. When you are like consuming a lot of calories in a perfect caloric deficit way, so as I said before, if your maintenance level is 2,500 and you're consuming 2,000 calories, then your body is going to be like, okay, bet, we know when the next meal is coming. We know when we're going to get calories again. So we're going to be burning the calories where we need to. We're going to be doing what we need to do. But when you are depriving your body of calories and you're having, let's say, 1,200 calories when you're supposed to be having 2,000, your body is going to be holding on to every ounce of calories you consume, because they don't know when the next amount of calories or the next meal is coming into your body. And so that's what happens, and that's why you end up not losing weight and staying the same weight, because your body is holding on to the calories that it does get because it doesn't get enough. And because you're doing that, you're at the same time slowing down your metabolism. Whereas if you are feeding your body adequately enough and fueling your body, especially if you're working out, that's the worst thing you want to do. Your body is going to be always working and burning calories, which is going to be boosting your metabolism. And when you're eating enough protein and you're working out, doing strength training, which is another big thing you want to do when you're trying to lose weight, even like regardless what your fitness goal is, strength training has so many benefits. But when it comes to weight loss, it helps build muscle, and muscle burns calories more than fat does at a resting rate. So you're just like putting yourself into a best case scenario by eating adequately enough, lifting weights, building up your metabolism. So ultimately what that is called is just reverse dieting. That was a lot. So if you see yourself in that situation where you're having significantly low amount of calories a day, I would highly recommend you to do reverse dieting. So what I do with my clients is we slowly increase up their calories. So let's say you're having like 1,200 calories a day. I would tell you, okay, go up to 1,300 calories, 1,400 calories. Once you consistently can hit that, then we go to 15, then we go to 16. Then you keep going up until you're at that like 500 calorie mark below your maintenance. So even though you're going up in calories, you're still in a deficit, and you always will be in a deficit, but you're going to be in a healthier deficit where you can lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. And that's what you want to be at, because ultimately what will happen is you will then be able to sustain the results that you have. So let's say down the line you lose 30 pounds and it took you a couple months, because realistically it's going to take you a couple months. I'm not going to do the math right now because my math is horrible. If you know, you know. At least at the end, you will be able to keep off the 30 pounds in comparison to someone who does something crazy, like, as I said, having 1,200 calories a day, cutting out carbs, cutting out fat. They lose the weight, they look great in 3 months, but then catch them in a year later and they gained everything back, if not double. You don't want to be her, trust me. And keep it on track with the same like weight loss topic. If you notice that on the scale when you're calculating what your body fat percentage and your muscle mass percentage is, because that's very important. Sometimes, not even sometimes, but like you don't want to be fixated on the number on the scale. I've been through that conversation so many times on my channel before, so I'm not going to talk about it now. But when you're looking at, where's my eyebrow gel? Wait a minute. Where's she at though? Girl, what? Oh, she's right here. You want to look at your body fat percentage, right? So your body fat percentage basically is what your body fat percentage is, or your body fat on your total body weight. So someone who's 200 pounds and then someone who's 100 pounds, if they have the same amount of body fat, it's gonna look a lot more fatter on the 100-pound person than a 200-pound person, because a 200-pound person has more weight for the body fat to disperse around, whereas the 100-pound person doesn't have as much weight to have that body fat, you know, kind of move around or like be displaced on that body. I hope that makes so much sense. So this is why sometimes if you are not properly eating and you're severely under eating, so what happens is you're slowing down your metabolism, but then your muscle mass is also decreasing because you're not feeding yourself enough protein. That 80 grams of protein a day ain't gonna do nothing for you when you're trying to build a muscle. You are gonna notice that your muscle mass percentage is going down and your body fat percentage is going down, but your muscle mass percentage is going down a lot quicker than your body fat percentage. And your weight is obviously going down too, right? So what ends up happening sometimes is when you go on the scale and you check to see your body fat to muscle mass percentage, your body fat percentage could either be the same or a little bit higher, and your muscle mass percentage can be lower than when you previously weighed yourself. And you can be down, let's say like 20 pounds, and most of it is muscle mass. I hope you guys are catching on and like, you know, understand what I'm trying to say here. It's going to be higher or the same, your body fat percentage, because as I just mentioned, you're now on a smaller frame, so your body fat is going to be taking up more space on that frame, whereas you had a bigger frame before. But because you're not feeding yourself enough protein and building muscle, and your muscle is going down and your body fat is going up, this is why your body fat percentage can go up by 1 or 2% when you weigh yourself after being on your little weight loss. I don't want to do that, that's so disrespectful, but being on a weight loss journey. So all in all, building muscle, super important. Eating protein, super important. Proper calorie deficit, super important. I cannot stress this enough. That's why I spoke about this for like 10 minutes, because this is so important. Next topic, spot reducing fat. The whole unbig your back trend, I don't even know if that's really trending anymore, but I feel like people need to understand the fact that do this back workout to unbig your back is basically saying, do this back workout and you can spot reduce fat on your back. Well, you cannot do that. I had a video on my page, I still have it up, where I have like unbig your back workout, and I did that because of the algorithm and that term was trending, and I probably shouldn't have done that because I don't want to, you know, relate this like message that you can do this back workout and you're going to get rid of your back rolls. It doesn't work that way. In order for you to lose body fat on any part of your body, so your midsection, your back, your chin, your neck, your arms, you know, the little bat wings that people talk about, you need to be in a caloric deficit that we just spoke about, and over time you're going to see the body fat shed all over your body. Unfortunately, your midsection, the love handles, is the last place to go. A lot of the times people tend to lose it in their face first. You know, people are like, oh my god, your face looks slimmer. That's what happens. Some people, they lose it in their legs, their butt. It's just like, you can't pick and choose where to lose fat, and you also can't pick and choose where to put the muscle or where to put the protein in. Like, you can't be like, I'm gonna drink this and it's gonna go straight to my ass. Girl, I wish it worked that way, because then we all be walking around with fat asses. It doesn't work that way. So these unbig your back, or do this core exercise to get rid of the stomach, or do this exercise to get rid of hip dips, it's not a thing, okay? So do not fall for that at all. Regardless of how many followers this person has, regardless of how many views these videos have, do your research. After you see something, even if you're seeing the same thing perpetuate 1,000 times, do your research. Don't just think, because I've seen this 1,000 times, it has to be true. No. If people keep photoshopping the sky to be green 1,000 times, and you keep seeing green skies 1,000 times, are you gonna be like, oh shit, okay, I guess the sky's not blue, it's actually green? No. Do your research, please. Au moins. Au moins. And anything I'm saying here, I'm not trying to like talk at anybody. I just really am passionate sometimes about these things, so I come off a little aggressive. I apologize. But I've been there. I've definitely been there. Like, I used to be that person. You remember that exercise where people still do it to this day, but you hold a weight in your hand and you do like the side crunches? I used to do that exercise religiously. I would do that every single day, every time I worked out, when I used to work out back in the day, like when I first started, thinking that I was spot reducing fat. I thought by doing that exercise, I literally was going to create that like hour-shaped glass figure, you know, that little silhouette, the Coke bottle. I thought it was literally going to make my waist smaller. And I'd be like, oh my god, I feel the muscle contracting. I feel it stretching. I would even go on that 45-degree angle bench and do the exercise. But like, oh my god, I'm getting more of a stretch in. Yes, I'm getting those like hips coming through. Like, no, girl, no, it did not work that way for me, and that's not how you go about it, because that's just another way of trying to think I can spot reduce fat. You can't target a certain area that has fat with exercise thinking that you're going to get rid of that fat, because you cannot, and remember this, okay, this is very key, you cannot transform fat into muscle. You can't take a fat tissue, work it out, and it's going to turn into a muscle tissue. Fat and tissue fat is a tissue. Fat and muscle are two different tissues. It's like apples and oranges. They're very similar. They look similar to an extent, but they're two different things. And muscle takes up less density in your body than fat does. So that's why sometimes the people are like, oh my god, I weigh 145 pounds here and I still weigh 145 pounds, but I look slimmer and more snatched and more sculpted, is because they literally changed from body fat to muscle mass, and their muscle mass takes up less density in their body, so that's why they look more slim, they look more sculpted. Make sense? And I'm talking so fast, I'm like out of breath, like I don't know why I can't catch my breath. I'm like after every freaking sentence, like, Tashana, why are you talking so fast, girl? It's not a race. Slow down. Let's talk about protein, because that is something that's super important regardless of what your goals are. So if you want to lose weight, is this the same color? I don't know if this is gonna match. This may not match. Where is my other one? Oh no. I feel like this is a little too dark. I definitely got more pale because of the lack of sun. When it comes to protein, I know the health rule, or whoever makes this rule up, is 80 grams of protein a day. That is not for the person who is trying to gain muscle mass, lose weight, build muscle, grow their glutes. That's not what you want to be doing, okay, if that's any of your goals. You want to be aiming for about 0.8 times your current body weight of grams of protein per day. And another thing that a lot of people have this misconception is that you can't eat meals that have more than 30 grams of protein because it's just basically going to be excreted? Is that the word? You're basically just gonna out your body, you know? And that is not true. That is far from the truth. You can have meals that have more than 30 grams of protein. Also, don't think that you have to have a protein shake an hour or 30 minutes right after your workout. There's no window where it's the most beneficial. Just make sure that you eat protein, an adequate amount of protein every single meal, and you hit your protein goal every single day. This is going to help you build muscle, which, as we spoke about before, is what you need in order for you to lose weight, gain muscle mass, grow your glutes, whatever. Everybody needs protein. And once you start feeding yourself the way you need to feed yourself for whatever goals you have for yourself, you will be so shocked. Like, one of the prime examples of this is one of my clients. She wanted to grow her glutes, and I would keep telling her, like, girl, you need to eat your protein, you eat your protein, eat your protein, eat your protein. And she'd be like, yes, I'm trying. And she was struggling to hit 100 grams of protein. And 100 grams of protein a day is hard for the average person. I get it. And she's vegan or vegetarian, one of the two. Once she finally started eating her protein intake the way she was supposed to, when I tell you, her results were crazy in a span of like 3 months. I'm gonna put the pictures up here so you can see. Crazy. And once she saw her results, she was just like, let's go. Let's go. She was eating her protein every single meal, having her protein waffles. I was trying to figure out different ways to get her protein in because she was finally seeing the results. And unfortunately, you just have to thug it out for a little bit before you start seeing results. Like, you're not going to see results right off the bat. It takes time. If you're a beginner, you are lucky enough to get the fastest results because that you're like in your prime, right? Whereas someone like me, I'm not going to see results as quickly. Like, I have to put a lot of work in, and over time, I'm going to see like small results because I've been working out for years. Just be consistent with your eating and your protein intake, and I promise you, the results will come. Just be patient. Speaking of consumption, supplements, let's talk about that because there is so much garbage on social media, especially TikTok, with the freaking glutamine supplement, OxyShred supplement. Like, these supplements are being branded, or not even branded, but it's being spread around that glutamine is really good for like weight loss and it's the best thing you could take for your gut health, and OxyShred is going to help you burn fat because it's a thermogenetic or whatever the word is. I can't even say it properly right now. And it's just like, these supplements are not the end all be all or the key for your weight loss journey and your gut health journey. You don't even need these supplements, to be very frank and honest with you. Being a gym girl or a gym person is already expensive as is. So if you don't need to waste your money on bullshit, don't do it. The only supplements you should really be taking, first of all, protein powder, whether it's whey or vegan. Get yourself protein powder. Creatine. Creatine is one of the most researched supplement out there, backed by science, and it's okay and healthy for you. You need to get yourself creatine, even if you're on a weight loss journey, because it builds muscle, and we've been through this already. Another supplement, omega-3. Really, really good. Vitamin D, especially in the wintertime when we're lacking sun. And if you are a Black girl, you need vitamin D. It's really, really good, especially if you feel yourself being very tired, lack of energy. Vitamin D will really help you. And another one, iron supplement, for me personally, because I'm an I am an iron low deficient girl. So for me, iron supplements, probiotics, those are so good for your gut health. Like, these are supplements that you want to be taking. Forget the glutamine, forget the OxyShred. You can take pre-workout if you want to, if you feel like there are days where you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, that's the only time for you to get your workout done, and you need that boost of energy, take it. That's an okay supplement to spend your money on. But all these other things, trust me, you can go without and be perfectly fine and save money. I love me some blush, but this blush is looking a little too pink, a little too rosy red. I'm outside and I'm cold. And now the last thing that I feel needs to be discussed are hidden PRs. There's this whole thing on the internet, and when I say this, I'm just speaking from my algorithm, so I could be so wrong. Algorithm basically tailors to what I like to watch. But I feel like a lot of the girls and guys are always lifting this heavy ass weight. Like, you see the girls with the big ass hip thrust and 5 like plates on each side, squatting 400, 500, deadlifting 400, 500, and you're looking at you and you're like, I can only do 50 pounds. I need to get myself up to that. I need to hit new PRs, new PR, new PR. You don't need to really be hitting new PRs all the time. You don't have to be aiming for a new PR for you to see results. No. I know progressive overload is something that we talk about very often. And where's my mascara? Oh, it's right here. Progressive overload is something that we talk about very often, right? And that's basically increasing the intensity of your exercise. It's not necessarily upping the weights. Like, you don't need to up the weights to increase the intensity of the exercise. There's so many different ways you can increase the intensity. Like, you can change up the tempo. You can add pauses in there. So let's give an example. Hip thrust, for example, right? If you want to intensify your hip thrust with the barbell, 1, add a resistant band so that you're doing the abduction, keeping your legs pointing out and your knees away from your body as you go up and down and not letting the resistant band cave your knees in. You can also add in pauses. So let's say you go all the way to the top and you squeeze your glutes and hold it for 3 seconds. For every single rep, your ass will be burning, trust me. You can do the 1 1/4. So you start at the bottom, all the way top, squeeze, go down a little bit, back up like a pulse, and then go all the way down. That's 1 rep. You can do pulses. You can do single leg. You can do B stands. There's so many different variations that you can do to increase the intensity other than just upping the weight. Now, obviously you do want to be using a weight that is challenging for you. Like, sometimes I see girls and I'm like, why do you have 10 pounds on each side on a barbell, hip thrusting, and you've been doing this for like 3 months? Girl, up the weight. Like, there comes a point where it is time to up the weight. But don't think that you always have to be chasing a new PR is what I'm trying to say. Like, for me personally, I don't do that PR stuff. In the beginning, I get it because you want to see how strong you are. You want to test your strength. And it makes a lot of sense. I get it. I really do get it. And it's okay if you want to chase PRs. Perfectly fine. But you just don't need that as the only way for you to get the results or grow your glutes. You know what I mean? Like, me personally, I don't even do new PRs. I literally hip thrust 2 plates on each side. Sometimes I'll throw on like an extra 25 pounds on each side if I want to be fancy. But I'm not trying to hip thrust 4 or 5 plates on each side. Like, I had my moments where I used to do that, and now I'm just like, I don't really care for that. So keep that in mind next time you've caught yourself comparing your strength to someone else's strength. We're all on different paths and different journeys. And that's the thing when it comes to fitness. Like, we hear often fitness journey, fitness journey, fitness journey. And I do say that word a lot too. But I think I want to go forward with saying more so like your fitness lifestyle, because essentially that's what it is. It is a lifestyle. Because once you get your results that you've been working towards, you have to maintain those results. And in order for you to maintain those results, I can't be talking while I'm putting my lip liner on. What am I doing? And in order for you to maintain those results, you have to keep doing what you were doing before. And this is why it's so key and important to pick some type of like healthy, sustainable diet where you're not cutting out anything major like carbs or fats or your favorite things to eat, because that's not sustainable. I feel like my lip is a little too brown. I don't know. Is it? Oh. Don't be so fixated on what other people are doing and what social media shows you. Like, another prime example, those damn Stanley cups. I'm not trying to come for you if you have a Stanley cup, but I'm just like, y'all really paying $40, $50 for a cup to drink water? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy to me. Stanley cup, they know what they do with their marketing, but when you think about it, it's crazy. You can literally go to a dollar store and get something very similar. But I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me and just chit-chatting a bit about fitness and things that have helped me, and just clarified, well, my clients too as well, and clarified a few things that you might have been like a little unsure about or you thought was the truth, and you found out that that is not the truth. And if you don't believe what I said, Google it, research it. Don't just take my word for it, okay? Research it, make sure that what I'm saying is accurate and it makes sense to you, and then go forward with it. This goes to any information you hear, especially on social media, because let's be real, some of these people don't even know what they're talking about. They just talking and you be buying it. Let's be real. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching my video. Make sure you guys are subscribed, and I'll see you guys next week Sunday. Bye.